We all rode the Russell Westbrook roller coaster on Saturday afternoon when the Nuggets got game one in their best-of-7 series against the Los Angeles Clippers. So what kind of Yelp review would you give that roller coaster after game one? I want to talk about it. Coming up next. All right, Nuggets Nation, how you feeling? The Nuggets are up 1-0. But, man, the way we got there was certainly interesting after one of the strangest sequences I've ever seen on a basketball floor with one Russell Westbrook. So, Coach David Adelman, he decides to go with Russell Westbrook in the closing lineup as opposed to Michael Porter Jr. Because Michael Porter Jr. was a complete embarrassment of a basketball player in game one. He scored the first bucket and then didn't do anything else the rest of the game. And there was about 46 minutes left in the game, and he did nothing. So it's Russ to close. And as David Adelman said after the game, Russ is Russ. And that's the perfect description for the agent of chaos, the guy that can't check his basketball ego from time to time, in Russell Westbrook. So I want to talk about what kind of review you would give Russ after that game. And I want to answer the question to whether or not he's going to help the Nuggets win this series, or he might be suspect number one as to why they would lose this series if that's what happens moving forward. So let's talk about how we got to this situation on Saturday afternoon. He was outstanding in some of those moments. I mean, the offensive rebounds and putbacks, he had two at the free throw line where he's the odd man out. He had to beat the Clipper player to position and get a rebound and put it back. And he did that twice. That's huge. That's effort. That's want to. That's I want the dang basketball and you're not going to beat me to it. That's what Russell Westbrook brings. He also hit a giant corner three where I don't know if you felt the way I felt. I was in the press box watching the game for my media badge, so I couldn't go, oh, God, no. But I thought it. And then it went in and I went, oh, God, yes. And again, thought it because I couldn't say it. But that's not a good shot for the Denver Nuggets to take. Russell Westbrook corner three with the game on the line. I don't want to go down that road much more. See, thinking of it makes me thirsty. Hurting my throat yelling at Russell Westbrook. So that shot was outstanding. But then you get to the way that game ended. And go back and watch. I would encourage you to do it. Russell Westbrook is bringing the ball at the floor. He's right side three-point line extended. You're going to see Nikola Jokic come into the frame like this. That's catch and shoot mode, right? He is ready to catch and shoot. And Russell Westbrook said, is that guy the three-time MVP? Should he be the MVP this time? Nah, I'm good. I got this. And then what he proceeded to do was jump up in the air without any kind of plan and then realize he's in trouble, have to throw the ball off of James Harden before he can reestablish possession. Clock expires. We go to overtime. That is... I've been around basketball my entire life. I've been around the NBA for the last 15 years of my entire life, or 15 years of my life. I've never seen anything that bad. From my nephew's I-9 Northglenn League, he's 5, to Northglenn High School basketball players, to Buffs and Rams players playing college hoops, to an NBA player. I have never seen a game in that way. When the best player in the world is running up, calling and ready to catch and shoot with the basketball, and you straight up ignore the dude to do that nonsense. I've never seen anything like it in my life. And then what's he do? He goes into overtime and totally redeems himself with those offensive rebound putbacks that I'm talking about. That steal, the deflection away from James Harden that ultimately ended up deflecting off of Harden, and then the ball going the Nuggets' way, got him fired up, got Jamal Murray all fired up. And then Russell Westbrook said, I knew that was the play. He was a Clipper a year ago. He knew that was the play and just jumped right there into a passing lane. So an emotional roller coaster. I'm going to call it the Russell Westbrook experience. So will this experience lead to the Nuggets winning 4 games and punching their ticket to round number 2? Or will this experience lead to the Nuggets losing 4 of the next 6 games and going home? Serbia for Nikola, Cancun for the rest of the boys. What is it going to do? I'll tell you, man, I'm about as torn on this as I can be, of I have a hard stance on this side or a hard stance on this side. I'm as close to walking this line as you can be, because I don't know what to expect tonight from Russell Westbrook. Is Russell Westbrook's, the confidence that he gained Is that going to be put forth in the right way, where he hustles, he's crashing the boards, he's looking for a quick outlet, or he is the outlet pass and is quickly going the other way, and he keeps himself under control to make a layup when he's running 100 miles an hour? That would be great if that's what the momentum turned into. But you know what I'm terrified of? The momentum turning into him taking more corner threes. The momentum turning into him going, oh, I'm running downhill every time I touch the basketball, and I'm driving into the paint to create contact and flipping something up in the air to hopefully get to the free throw line. That's going to take everybody else out of rhythm. It's going to turn into isolate, stand, and watch basketball when Russell Westbrook is on the floor, and that's going to lead to the Nuggets losing game number 2. And I honestly don't have a good answer one way or the other. I would like to think it's the former because Nikola Jokic is on the team and he can keep a guy in check, right? Of like, what are you doing, Russell Westbrook? I think David Adelman, who doesn't really have a lot of loyalty to a guy like Russell Westbrook, certainly not to what Michael Malone, it felt like he had loyalty to a guy in Russell Westbrook. So I'm right down the middle. I'm going to lean a little bit this side just to be optimistic because I want to be and hope that this goes the right way. But I am very, very nervous about tonight's game just being all wrong for Russell Westbrook because he was the hero in game number 1. And it gives him this false sense of confidence where when Russell Westbrook's playing basketball, sometimes I feel like he's playing in quicksand. And now he's going to be jumping off trampolines because of what he did in game number 1. So I'm leaning former. It's a good thing, but boy, am I nervous about that. And then when it comes to, like I asked, like a Yelp review, what would you give? I'd love to know in the comments here. So while you're there, make sure you leave a comment and tell me what you leave. Like and subscribe to everything we're doing here on Denver Sports. Dover on Denver's every Monday and Wednesday, so love to see you there. What's your Yelp review? Because it's almost like, hey, the food was good, but the waiter called me the F word or the B word or something in there. Like, it's just food good, experience absolutely ridiculous. That's what the review would be. I don't know what I'm going to get. Sometimes the service is great and the food's terrible if you're going to the Russell Westbrook diner. So what would you say? What's your Yelp review for Russell Westbrook? Because he had helped this team. And I'm going to say this until I'm blue in the face. Russell Westbrook on this team is why they're not in the play-in or weren't in the play-in. And then what does that lead to? Oklahoma City, Los Angeles, which maybe doesn't seem as bad at this point with what we saw with Minnesota. But that's what it is. Without Russell Westbrook, remember when Aaron Gordon left? They won 13-something games, 13-2 or something with Aaron Gordon out of lineup the first time, and then Aaron Gordon re-aggravated that, what was he doing with? Right calf? They are not a 50-win team without Russell Westbrook. But they're also better down the stretch without Russell Westbrook because after he missed that layup against Minnesota, game 70-something, he went downhill, and his teammates lost confidence in him as well. So they're not there where they are now without him. But, man, are they the 3 seed with him? Not playing the way he did down the stretch? I'd love to know what your review is. Leave it in your comments. I'll circle back and come and see what you have to say about Russell Westbrook. While you're there, you can call your shot for game 2 tonight as well because I think the Nuggets get a dub. But like I said about that Russell Westbrook line, I am nervous about what he does in game number 2 tonight. This has been Dover on Denver, and now I'm done.